E-Girl Army recruiters. Oh boy, Army's stepping up their game. By Papa Meat.
Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come on and sit down because today we're talking about the U.S. military. So many goddamn heroes.
Why'd you join the Army?
For my country. Yes! We're actually talking more about military recruiters today. Sorry for the bait and switch, but we are. Because the U.S. military is constantly in need of recruits. Because of that, Army recruitment has become its own complex operation, one that makes constant efforts to reach as many people as possible using the hundreds of millions of dollars allotted yearly for this purpose. Hundreds of millions. Some of you may have seen it firsthand with military recruiters showing up to their colleges or campus to talk to kids directly. But this is far from the only method used to find interested people and joining the Hoorah clan.
One time I got off a bus and a guy sprinted from the bushes trying to recruit me.
You were just that much of a soldier. You were just that much of a catch. It turns out that the U.S. military employs a lot of strange and extreme tactics to accomplish their goal.
So that feels like an Army thing, right? So I feel like there's a meme to be had here, and military, please feel free to weigh in. I hear that the Marine Corps has no issues with recruitment because you'll have the Marine candidates running to the Marine Corps recruitment office while the Army has to chase down the Army recruit. Oh, I feel like there's a commentary here and some interbranch jabs that can happen. I'm not brave enough, nor do I have enough military experience. I have zero military experience to make this joke. However, I feel there is a joke here for those that are qualified.
With the realization that Gen Z shows far less interest in joining the military compared to previous generations. I mean, in 2022, only 45,000 soldiers enlisted out of 60,000 that was intended that year. No one cares anymore, dude. Rock, flag, and eagle, man. Rock, flag, and eagle. No more. No more.
A lot of people are very anti-American nowadays.
Isn't it sad, Nick? Isn't it sad? Hoorah. Hoorah. A big part of this is due to the fact that young people seem to be more aware of the realities of military service and no longer buying into the flowery messaging given to them by recruiters who want to sell this as an ideal path. And in fact, recruiters often focus on the supposedly immense benefits and sense of purpose one can obtain.
Isn't that Full Metal Jacket? How does he have a firearm outside of the designated storage area? I need to watch this movie.
Out the harsher truths like the risk of PTSD, suicide, and mental health issues. So today I want to talk about the most ridiculous military recruitment methods. And let me tell you, some of them might even work on me.
People think you're poor if you join the military. That's not the case. I just got paid, so I went shopping. I spent $10,000. I got a pair of Louboutins. I wore them for the first time last night. They told me to use a protectant on the red sole so that it didn't up, but I already.
What you're seeing is advanced warfare.
My God. Gentlemen, behold, modern warfare. Oh, God. Oh, man, whose desk did this have to cross? Wow, this is an experience.
In the councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex.
Wake up.
Damn, there's a lot of women in the military. See, the follow-up question was, damn, you're gonna have a lot of people complaining about this nebulous DEI concept, right? Remember, chat. The Enola Gay, as it turns out, was too DEI for the military. Therefore, it was, it came into question late last year. You know, we can't have anything like the Enola Gay in our history books, because America. Bro, I hate being alive.
Wake up, it's propaganda. It's propaganda. It's an e-girl in military uniform. It's propaganda. Wake up, wake up.
Oh,
we can't get into this topic without discussing one of the strangest and more recent examples, the e-girl soldier psyops. All across social media platforms like TikTok and Instagram, videos are making waves showcasing what can only be described as e-girls cosplaying as members of the United States Army. Many are convinced that it's all part of a massive psyop, and that the U.S. is enlisting the help of attractive women to make videos that convince people to join the army, aka the literal most effective way to put men into any position. And it works hand over fist. This is referred to as the
what's the concept? Sex sells? This has been in marketing for how long? I'm sure somebody could be like, well, actually, back in 1968, I had a business book from college that actually said this as a concept. I'm pretty sure this concept is well established for a hot minute.
simp to soldier pipeline. One of the most well-known influencers in this genre of content is a woman online named Luhan that has almost 1 million followers on TikTok. Dressed in full army getup, she posts videos of her lip-syncing to trendy songs, doing dances, and vlogging her experience. While
You know, okay, hold up. You know who is also, where is it? It's Horse Girl. Tomoe, if I can actually spell. Horse VTuber. Yeah, no, I love Tomoe Mari. Isn't she, she's Army, right? Bro, okay, I think this is her own independent content, though. To be fair, there is a division. This is her own independent content. She is in the Army versus being, you know, a tool of Army recruitment. However, all I'm going to say, bro, the Army's on one right now, okay? The Army knows what they're doing, apparently.
some posts seem innocent enough and realistic, occasionally things would become way less subtle. Like a post where she directly tells people, quote, "If you feel unwanted, you know the Army wants you bad." I love that, dude. I want you bad, so if I was an Army man, she'd probably love me. That's how minds work nowadays.
So here's the funny thing, though, right? Here's how this works, right? Oh, man, if I got into the Army, you know, I could probably be bunkmates with really, really spicy Army gal. And then you get to your bunk, right? And your bunkmate is this 6 foot something stacked like a brick shithouse who they call the mitochondria. Kip, why do they call him the mitochondria? Because he's the powerhouse of the cell. Oh, you gonna learn today, boy. Why they call me Horse Rod John. Thought your name was Terry. You're gonna learn tonight. Why is the bunk always so sticky? I don't understand. Why are there shower jellies? Although I hear that's mostly like a Navy problem. I hear that's a submarine specific problem. Dude, this video is killing me.
Similar theories are even being made in other countries for people like Natalia Fadiz, also known as the gun waifu, a member of the IDF.
Okay, first off, I'm calling bullshit because you goddamn know there's going to be a casing that goes right between her chest. Okay? We don't do this for a reason because nobody likes hot brass.
That post pro-Israel propaganda on her Instagram and her OnlyFans. There's definitely a guy who's just doing something and then he's just, that OnlyFans comment really perked him up. Say what now? Her content ranges from cringy e-girl trends to Overwatch cosplays, mixed with thirst trap photos on her Instagram as well as her OnlyFans, popping her, showing tits. It's, you know, what else is new? People believe.
Did you do research into this beforehand? I mean, obviously you want to make sure that you're going to be, you know, researched on this subject, obviously. You know, saying that there's an OnlyFans, obviously knowing the presence, but I mean, like, you know, clearly you would have to want to make sure you're checking and validating the content. I mean, this is just doing the bare minimum. This is just doing your research at this point, you know? Got to verify the facts.
This is done as a recruitment method as well and have successfully gotten many young men to obsess over her.
I would never reject you. In fact, I would like to be with you. I love you. Could you be my girlfriend? Heart, heart, heart. Please love me.
But of course, this isn't the first time the U.S. Army has tried tactics like these to gain interest of young people. Throughout history, they have employed various methods that glorify military life, often in a way that feels inappropriate or deceptive, like with military ad campaigns. Which, listen, here's the thing, guys. They're awesome. They're really cool. I remember, even when I was younger, I would see them and I'd be like, damn, that's kind of sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it worked on me. I could get...
Unironically, it was always the Marine Corps propaganda that was the best for me. Like, sure, we had, you know, Go Army, Army Strong. We had all that. I don't know. Like, it's very strange.
Free college?
Free college? And I'm like failing algebra. Free college? I'm going to be a doc.
Can you sign up with flat feet? Or is that you can't be drafted with flat feet?
If you have flat feet, they're not going to allow you into the military? Is it that big of a deal? I thought it was if you're like colorblind.
Well, maybe that too. If you have flat feet, you can't be drafted. So
Allegedly, you can have a bunch of stuff going on, and allegedly some stuff will get past some censors, some stuff will get past some checks. I mean, if you want to get in badly enough, I hear potentially there's ways of doing it. Now, obviously, that would never happen. Obviously, there are exclusion criteria, and they're going to make sure to adhere to all the exclusion criteria, right? Because obviously they would never admit anybody, who might have a disqualifying factor in any capacity. No, sir. No, that will never happen.
I'm safe from the draft.
You're also like 40. You're not going to get drafted, Nick. Like, you're like, I'm really young and extremely in shape. I hope they don't draft me.
Hunter, I have something to tell you.
What is it, Mom?
You may want to put that energy drink down. I don't think your heart can take it.
Well, Mom, I appreciate your concern, but I've actually been drinking Gamer Sup's raw meat blend that's non-caffeinated.
Nice.
While they do have a caffeinated option, both are equally delicious, so I think it should be okay.
Hunter, you're not my son.
This is already a 10.
What?
What?
There's no way you could be my son. Look at you. You're too big. I mean, nobody is as fat as you in the family.
Damn.
Oh, God.
Whoa there, little Debbie. Don't want you to slip into a diabetic stroke.
If that's his actual mom, this is an 11 out of 10. This goes above and beyond.
I'm sugar-free! And it's keto-friendly, Mom!
Don't call me that anymore. I just got back from the courthouse. Papers are signed. You're not my son.
Nice.
Oh, God!
And quit crying like that. It just makes you look so fat.
Okay,
throughout the 80s and 90s, many military.
That's an 11. We didn't even have a closing. That was art. Oh my God, that is an actual above and beyond. I will give that an 11 out of 10. That is one of the best ads I've ever watched. That was so good.
Advertisements were released that clearly aimed to appeal to the fantasy and adventure-obsessed kids playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Where? Oh God, please tell me. Where's my? It was the Marine Corps chess one. Oh, bro, please tell me this is it.
That feels like a bit of a long shot. One short advertisement from 1985 simply focuses on a sword being forged over a dramatic voiceover catering to the alpha men.
Nice.
I think more so just being like, King Arthur's table. You want to stab this into like a Middle Eastern guy's chest. They're all dragons. Lizard people. That would have worked on me.
Oh,
there's lizard people over there. We gotta kill them. In 1987, the U.S. Marines took it a step further with an advertisement set in medieval times, with a young man dressed in armor being knighted by a king.
Okay.
The voiceover compares the adventurous and courageous knight to that of a modern Marine. Continuing with the medieval theme, the Marine Corps released a particularly strange ad in 1990 that depicted knights and evil wizards fighting each other on a life-size chessboard. Who do you think the
You see why this just consistently is my favorite branch. As a civilian, you see why I have a bias towards this. Because, oh my God, the Marines are batshit insane, and I fucking love them.
The wizards were. You know who the enemy is. Join the Marines. One of the most bizarre ads released in 1998, a man enters a strange CGI video game-esque coliseum where he must traverse a deadly obstacle course in order to retrieve a sword themed after a bald eagle. It's awesome. Especially that time, too, when you're just like, I just got my Nintendo 64. You're like, oh my God, I've been playing it on my TV, but I could be in the game. That kind of thing. Also, a bald eagle sword. You kidding me? So sick. Almost
Yeah, I mean the Master Sword from Zelda, specifically the Wind Waker one, where it's fully charged. How it the Master Sword, the Keons branch out to kind of form wings. Very much a fan of the aesthetic.
It looks a little like Nazi propaganda. Just a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. Sorry they had good aesthetic. He then dramatically fights a lava monster before striking him down, being engulfed in flames and turning into a fully dressed Marine.
Once
And
again,
many people can forgive ads like these for being a product of their time, but even modern military ads seem to dress things up to appear like some sort of trendy video game, which you definitely know that for a fact that these guys are just like, Call of Duty's huge. We're basically breeding them from when they're 8 years old playing these games.
Okay, but when do I get my U.S. government issued waifu wrap on my M4? Okay, look, they're gonna phase it out for the 6-spear at some point. Okay. We can make some concessions when that time comes, okay? All I'm saying, though, when are we getting the Ahegao skins, okay? When is the U.S. military walking around with Ahegao M4s and M16s, okay? We will have the Ahegao stickers on the LMG box mags. There, I've said it. There's your recruitment. I'll take my royalties now.
In 2019, the What's Your Warrior marketing campaign was released with the intention of showcasing the large list of diverse opportunities available to those joining the army. The advertisement is very clearly trying to cater to the Gen Z by mimicking a modern hero shooter aesthetic, showing specific types of soldiers alongside catchy nicknames and flashy graphics as their operators in Rainbow Six Siege. I like to think that they also went to like Blizzard and they're just like Overwatch. You know, do you think that they ever like the U.S. government's here, like the colonel like walks in, "Hello, Colonel." He's just like, "I have an assignment for you, son. America needs you," on the phone.
Probably. I mean, I would assume Call of Duty regularly receives some sort of money from the Department of Defense every single year. And that's why I feel Activision Blizzard is able to pump out so many Call of Duties, especially even as hack-baked as they are, right? Like, you're telling me the DoD doesn't sink money into things like this? Bro, let's be real. let's come back to reality for a second. They're definitely getting subsidized.
Here are some examples of these warriors, by the way. Aviation officers are referred to as the Dragon Tamers.
No.
There's a lot of anti-Chinese shit, I feel like, in this. The Dragon Tamers. Microbiologists are called the Virus Hunters. And culinary specialists are called the
pangolin. I'm sorry, wait a minute, what?
Replenishers. You could be a cook. Many people across social media agreed that it was an incredibly predatory method of attracting the attention of young people. And appealing to gamers through advertisements is one thing, but what about actual video games? Let's talk about the military-funded video games. In 1999, U.S. Army Colonel Casey Wojcinski came up with a unique idea to manage the lack of recruitments. And by 2002, he helped develop a video game called America's Army, which was released with the purpose of convincing people to recruit in real life. And this was...
Wow, that's old Xbox Live.
The first instance of the Army using the medium as a marketing tactic. The game acted as a team-based tactical shooter similar to Counter-Strike that was praised for being one of the most realistic portrayals in military combat and gaming for its time.
Why does this look better than modern AAA games? Sure, tone up the graphics a little bit, but why do I feel like this is more stable and probably plays better than modern games? That's the part that fucks with me.
I wonder who you're killing. Apparently, in 2007, a man used his knowledge for the game to save 2 people that were stuck in a car after an accident. And the game was getting a lot of great press to the point where multiple games were released, both spin-offs and sequels. I like how some guy's just like, "Thank you, America Army. I wouldn't have been able to save that wife and child from their burning car." That's kind of an impressive feat, though, huh?
Do you think they set that scenario up so a guy could save people?
Yeah, the woman's like handcuffed to the wheel, like duct tape around.
Yeah, wait, how did he learn from the game, from a car wreck? How does that make sense?
America's Army led to a more positive view on the U.S. military and successfully raised recruitment numbers more than any previous advertising attempt. And 20 years later, the game had shut down entirely after showcasing increasingly dwindling player numbers. Well, yeah, dude. One of the most popular military-based video games is undoubtedly Call of Duty, which first released in October of 2003, and this game has been widely speculated to be a military-funded psyop. I love that idea. State documents have been released in the past to prove that the CIA utilized video games for the purpose of counter-terrorism operations, even using spies to do surveillance on people through World of Warcraft and Second Life. And apparently, there was a belief that criminal networks may be operating within online video games.
Yeah, where's my CIA division for Roblox, huh? All I'm asking, okay? How many feds are in Roblox?
100% true.
And because of this, it is not a stretch to assume that Call of Duty is more than just a video game. The U.S. Air Force has even brought executive producers tied to Call of Duty franchise to their headquarters to demonstrate how their gear and vehicles work. We're just researching stuff. Puts like a needle in the back of his neck.
See, they should add that. Like after every map, there should be like a big like promotion that's like join the army.
Wasn't that fun? You just sign up here. Or if you did some shit where it was like you get a free battle pass, just
Oh, battle pass in the army.
Yo, you get like 800 COD points for actually joining the military. Link your Call of Duty account to your I'm sure there's an actual like military related account, right? Where like I'm sure you log into some government database somewhere. You can link that with Call of Duty, and every promotion you get an additional 600 Call of Duty points. If you hit general, you just get a free battle pass. Oh, please.
They do a battle pass to where you sign up, you get a free battle pass if you put your email and information in, and you start getting newsletters. Before Activision and Blizzard became entangled in sexual harassment scandals, the U.S. Army actually had big plans to put tons of money into Call of Duty franchise. They plan to sponsor Twitch events, paying influencers to create pro-army content, and even
wow, yeah, it sucks when you're a company with awful management who lets awful things happen, because then you lose out on very lucrative deals like this. Interesting. It's almost like there's a moral and lesson you can pull from this.
Create a reward-based inventory in Call of Duty Mobile that would pay in-game currency to viewers that watch ads for the U.S. Army.
There you go.
No. Every torrent promotion would not give you EXP. They would give you a different, like, you have the call sign cards, right? Like FNG, SSDD, right? From like Modern Warfare 2. Like your cards, right? Or your emblems. They just give you a new emblem and a card. They don't even give you the EXP.
So you were right. They did go up to Blizzard.
I'm telling you, they're just like, come on. If he has a gun, he's just like, I don't want to make this hard. Despite there being proven instances of video games utilized this way, Major John Mark Thelin had his own frustrations. According to him, military recruits that are part of the Nintendo generation have frail skeletons and are not tough enough to handle the active training required by the military. First off, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. But in response, he put together a regiment for people to build stronger bones, including tasks such as couch to 5K running program and drinking lots of milk. The guy's hard. I don't know what I'm supposed to tell you.
Oh, he came up with the couch to 5K? That's a huge like Reddit thing.
Couch to 5K is a huge Reddit thing? Have you done it?
I've literally never heard of this.
No, but like the fitness sub, this is years ago. They're like, here's the couch to 5K regiment.
And it's just because he said the Nintendo generation has soft bones. He's like, get off your couch, run a 5K, and drink milk. Reddit falling for a psyop? That's odd. With big games like Fortnite.
No, it would definitely never happen. Reddit is too mentally strong for that. Reddit has some grit, some resilience, if you will.
Minecraft releasing to massive audiences, the U.S. military was struggling to utilize the gaming space to enlist future military soldiers. For them, the next obvious step was to create the U.S. Army esports team, which the U.S. Army, as well as the Air Force and Navy, created their own esports teams. Alongside this, they had recruiters playing shooters on stream dressed in full uniform, talking about how much they love being in the Army.
That feels like it'd be counterintuitive, though. Like at that point, your job is strictly recruitment, right? To keep up with the demands, to be able to keep your skills sharp, to be able to put the sheer amount of hours into it, to be like top tier competitive. Like this feels like a conflict of interest. That's so strange. Because I don't know, it's one of those things where like I'm always like thinking about like the hyper competitive aspect, right, of things, and it's like, yeah, so it makes sense as a recruitment investment, 100%. Which makes me wonder if they have different requirements, because like you have to pass physical fitness test every X amount of period of time. I wonder if they have a modified thing because they're I don't know. I'm assuming they're still the baseline though. That's so strange to me. Like it's interesting to think about, and to think about how they have the time and the money and the ability to maintain competitive edge while also doing military things.
Is that comparable to like the Army having a football team and the Navy having a football team too that played like the college bowls? Yeah, it's just like, oh, I like football, you know, and that kind of thing. All is fair in love and war, Nick. All is fair in love and war. But their goal is, once again, to reach out to people who are prime ages for military recruitment. And people were quick to ridicule this endeavor online, spamming comments with the U.S. military's participation in various war crimes.
Oh,
Nice. Really chill guy.
Just don't do that. Don't be that guy. Like, at the end of the day, even if it's like, well, this is clearly John Army, it's like, pretty sure dude just does his job, wants to go home at the end of the day, right? He's not making military policy. He's not saying go fight this war. He's not saying go do this. This is where we're pushing. Like, I understand like it's an attempted gotcha moment, but it's really like it just puts people in such a weird position.
Have a nice time getting banned, my dude.
I'd always be afraid that they'd like bomb my house.
The Army would?
Yeah. War crimes. And then all of a sudden, or you just see like a drone flying outside my window. I'm like,
That was actually a big thing during Obama, when he started the Obama era, when he started using drones. People were like, he's going to use it on U.S. citizens.
I always thought that the big thing they're going to do with drones is they were going to start delivering packages. Whatever happened with that? I've never had one package delivered by drone and upset.
Yeah, Amazon, where's my drone delivery?
That's me. Because that was the whole thing I thought was cool with Amazon, was they were like, oh yeah, you just drop the box off at your doorstep and he flies away. It's like, idiot. I was sitting there, I had to order like, I don't know, a pair of socks. Look at my window.
I'm pretty sure there was a guy who like, he ordered from Amazon and someone with a shotgun shot it down and took the package.
That's awesome.
At some point,
do not do that, okay? That's how you get in a lot of trouble, okay? Do not do that. That is funny as hell, though.
today, did a drone fly over your house and you shoot at it? I'm gonna be real blunt with you and ask.
So, if he did shoot this, though, I have no pity for the man, and this man should have the fullest extent of the law come down on him for misuse of a firearm in a public space, right? For all intents and purposes, in a populated center. Like, you are in fact the idiot here. You are in fact the person in the wrong here. Get bent.
Yeah. You did?
Yeah. That's so stupid. I guess the Fruit of Loom socks runs off.
Speaking of psyops, they think that's a psyops.
What isn't a psyop? The amount of times I see the word psyop online, there's psyops everywhere. Subway has a psyop. McDonald's. Walmart has a psyop. Who doesn't have a psyop? Name a company that doesn't have a psyop? No, this isn't a
Papa Meat.
No, we have a psyop.
Exactly. Yeah, Papa Meat. Like, there's no psyop here. There's nothing here. He's absolutely correct.
I don't know what it is yet, but we definitely, if we don't have one, we're making one. What would our psyop be?
Join the Patreon by using cute e-girls.
That's what we need to do, dude. Do you think we'd get in trouble if we started getting like big-titted women, fat ass, or like buff guys with like chiseled bodies just be like, I don't know, my life's just been, I look like this because I'm on the Patreon. You think that'd get people to go?
Oh yeah.
Really?
I think so.
That's going to be our psyop.
Well, see, here's the thing, though. From a legal standpoint, you just make sure that, like, you know, it's not because you join the Patreon. You just have people who are very aesthetic, who are very, very cut, very figured, if you will. They're just holding a sign that just says, hey, you should go join the Papa Meat Patreon, right? Because all the cool kids, would definitely flock to the Papa Meat Patreon, right? You'll have all these just really cool, really hot people. See, that's marketing. That's genius.
Then the U.S. Army Esports Twitter account started to get made fun of online as well for using cringe e-girl phrases. We'll ask the merch store boss lady. They were responding with ooh. And it's like, these are the people that are supposed to protect this country. Why can't it just be, why do they, I mean, it's an idea, I get it, of we're trying to be hip with the kids so they want to join in or whatever. But can it not just be a thing where online is where you are your cringy self and you do all your shit that you do. And then if you,
I mean, to be fair, it's branch specific. If the Marine Corps did it, no one would bat an eye. It's because the Army did it. Let's be real, right? Like, I'm sure there's plenty of things that the branches could discuss amongst themselves and be like, dude, if the Air Force said this, that'd be cringe as fuck. The Coast Guard did this, though. That's baller. That's chef's kiss, right? Like, I think part of it has to do with like which entity is actually doing the thing.
Join the Army. Can there not just be things where it's like we just don't joke? This is just we're the Army. The Army does not need to be making joke accounts. You know what I mean?
They're trying to appeal to Gen Z.
I get it, but I'm saying, can nothing be sacred anymore? Am I wrong?
No.
Why can't it just be a bunch of old guys who are just like, I don't know, are you a in life? Kind of. Cool. Help me give you purpose again. That's been
Please, can we get less old guys though? Like, I'm tired of looking at people and it looks like when they sneeze, it's just dust. Like, do their lungs function? Have they solidified? Like, oh, dude, I'm so sick of fossils.
The biggest thing, I've had like multiple friends who are like real ups, and they're like, honestly, like ups. They joined the army though, and they like actually found like discipline and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Like the system, I think, works for people. It's just a matter of, but it's hard work, you know? I don't know.
And you could die.
The system works for people, but it does not work for everybody. And that becomes the issue. I would have issues in the military. I would have issues in the army. Like, it would depend on where they put me. It would depend on a number of factors, right? Assuming we're doing draft logic, army can infinitely scale up because it's structured to do so. Like, bro, I would have issues. Okay. The first drill sergeant to be a dumbass, bro, I'm raking leaves. I'm sweeping sand for the next like week. Like, it's supposed to teach you discipline. It is, and like say, what's the reason? Why would they have you, sweep sand? Why would they have you rake leaves? Why would they have you mop up rain? Right? It's, hey, you fucked up, don't fuck up again, right? Like, we're tired of doing the paperwork. You have the paperwork, now you also have this reprimand, this action that you're having to do to reinforce. Yeah, this sucks. Maybe, hey, I shouldn't do the thing at a core level, right? Like, that's why that works. I also know how that works. And I'm just a shitter. It's not a good mix. Not everyone should be in the military. It can be good for a lot of people, but not everybody.
Yeah. After being told that banning people for bringing up historic events in this matter was violating the First Amendment, the U.S. Army decided to take a break from streaming. And when they returned, they reinstated a ton of counts that they had banned previously.
Actually, would they, not be operating on behalf of the government? Therefore, I think that I would have to have... Would that be a civil rights lawyer? I'd have to have them look at that. Because that is interesting. Like, if you call, I don't know, if you just called me a slur in chat, sure, I just ban your ass. And my free speech, and it's like, bro, that protects from the government, not me. But if you do that to the government... I'm sure that there's a convention for that, but it is. I mean, they also this was apparently backtracked.
Okay, well, I guess they can't just state facts. They can't just ban people for saying shit. This wasn't their only controversy, however, because it turns out that they were also participating in potentially unlawful fake giveaways in order to push higher recruitment rates. Links would be posted on their Twitch claiming that you could win an Xbox Elite Series 2 controller worth up to $200, only for most people to click and be sent to a recruitment page with zero mention of the giveaway. Perhaps they hope people would just forget about it and just be like, oh, okay, well, I guess the giveaway's not real. I guess I'll just sign up instead, which had to work, by the way. And according to their Twitch page, they stopped streaming about 3 years ago.
Cool. Okay.
Rip. If your favorite streamer was just like, hey, you should join the army, how many people do you think would?
Oh, a lot.
So if SQC was just like, hey, yeah, I have to, you guys should join the army for real, whatever, then that, you think people would be like, okay.
I think a substantial amount of people would consider it because they'd be like, yes.
I mean, even like 1%. If 1%, that'd be a lot. For some audiences, that'd be crazy.
I bet you if Kai Cenat said join the army.
Ooh, if Kai Cenat was just like, hey guys, for real, join the army.
Can you imagine if, like, I don't know, Logan Paul, I don't know, maybe he got a nice deal and was like, hey, I need you to go join the Navy, right? How many people would jump and join the Navy, right? As it turns out, there's a reason people are called the I word that makes people want to vomit, influencers. It's almost like we can influence people's decisions. I'm very cognizant that me playing a game has made people buy games. I played Diablo 2 for the first time ever last year. I played Diablo 2 Resurrected. I loved it. People went to Activision Blizzard and bought Diablo 2 Resurrected because I played it. I'm aware. It's why I make sure to say repeatedly, come to your own conclusion, right? Be your own individual. Educate yourself. Make your own best decisions. Because not everyone does that.
Have some weight. You know what? I'm going to say it. Join the army. I don't give a shit. Do whatever the f you want. Would you rather work at an Amazon factory or would you rather join the army?
Join the army.
I'd probably join the
I'd join the army, actually, at that point. No, I'm good. I don't want I want to work decant and was it decant and stow? Decant's the one where you take product coming in from the truck. Stow is the one where you have the funny giant Roombas with all the shelves, right? Well, not shelves, all the pocket containers that you have to shove things into to catalog them, right? Yeah, no, I'm good. I would actually, if I was forced to do one or the other, I'm joining the army and I'm mopping grain for a long time.
Army over working at Amazon.
I'd be in the Air Force.
No, you wouldn't. You have glasses. They wouldn't let your blind ass be in an airplane.
No, I wouldn't be a pilot.
Then why would you want to be in the Air Force?
I'd be in the cockpit.
What cockpit? What are you talking about?
Control room.
So you just want to be a desk jockey in the army? You want to be?
Yeah, he's just playing the 5 kill streak Predator drone from Call of Duty. That's it.
The Air Force, you don't want to fly a plane? I feel like you're very easy to please. You know that? You do not reach for, you don't reach for anything, do you? You just said that you want to be a desk jockey in the Air Force. What the f are you talking about?
The command tower would be like,
You're just saying that you want to work in an airport.
That was $400,000 of government equipment that you just crashed. What do you have to say for yourself? It was awesome.
Okay.
if I was in the army.
Yeah. Well, you said the Air Force, but you're just saying, like, you're basically just wanting to, like, bring in Delta and American Airline. I mean, more power to you. I don't know.
One time, my buddy, he told me in high school, he's like, hey, we're going to go work out with our Marine buddy. He's like, I thought we were going to lift weights.
Oh, no. Oh, they're going to be so sore.
But we actually went and did like Marine PT. And on the very first exercise, we just had to sprint down the street and come back. After that, I immediately threw up.
Uh-huh. God. Honestly, same. Well, actually, I would show up and be like, we're doing what? PT? No. My fat ass? Hell no. In the military,
I would do it. See, I would know it would be a bad idea. I knew I'd be sick at the end of it. Oh my God, I would do it though. Bro, can you imagine the content though? Like, I can't wait for full-on propaganda to hit. So you know how we have like the really dumbass like TikTok challenges and stuff, like the Chase Bank check cashing quote unquote money glitch challenge or whatever. You get the prank challenges, the new one, which is the ding dong ditch challenge, which is not necessarily ding dong ditch so much as you show up to the door and inflict property damage by kicking the door and then leave. Right? When are we getting the PT challenges and shit? I guess maybe we shouldn't, because then the logical, unfortunate extension on that is you'll have a challenge getting into government facilities, like the GI challenge of just like breaking into a government facility and like, I don't know, just stealing random shit. To clarify, no, do not do this. I'm not advocating for this. That is dumb as hell. But you know people would do it, and that's depressing.
Attempt to reach Gen Z audience, they begin moving towards more cringe behavior, like the army rap, which could have really been at any place or time, but rap always seems to come back in terms of like doing a hip-hop thing. And you see it with the training videos and McDonald's and all that stuff. So it always kind of circles back a bit. 2019, the Giving All I Got music video released on YouTube to a minuscule audience. The rap was
because this is not going to be seen as controversial in any capacity.
Ridiculed for its incredibly cringy lyrics and amateurish production, and the song features moving lyrics such as going out like an acrobat. I'm flipping the script like flipping through pictures on Flickr.
Going out like an acrobat. I'm flipping the script like flipping through pictures.
The fuck is Flickr? Is this just a young people joke that I'm too boomer to understand? Bro, I'm lost.
Flickr.
I wonder how many people know what Flickr is. And at one point, they started listing things that the army will pay for in order to convince people to join in.
Uniform paid for, electric bill paid for, water bill paid for, living quarters paid for.
Another way that the
I bet that Humvee don't even have the keys in it. Well, someone's gonna have to go find those Humvee keys because they ain't gonna find themselves.
U.S. military can appeal to the youth is by utilizing star power, aka paying celebrities to promote the army. For example, the work the army had done with Jonathan Majors, known for his role in Marvel shows as well as Creed 3. He began working with the army on their Be All You Can Be.
What do you mean Creed 3? There was a Creed 2? Dude, I'm so out of the loop.
Ad campaign before being convicted of harassing and physically assaulting his ex-wife. He was dropped by the Army and then later dropped by Disney, with his character Kang being removed entirely from the upcoming Marvel storyline. And in a more recent attempt to bolster recruitment numbers, the Army secured an endorsement deal with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Oh my God, no, please. Bro. If I don't get a cut to a John Cena meme, no. Sorry, I'm thinking something else. I don't know, man. I'm just, you know what? A cut to a John Cena fucking meme would be great right about now, though, actually. Unironically, that I don't know about that. What was the Simpsons meme? Hi, I'm Tom Hanks, and the U.S. government has run out of credibility, so they've asked me to borrow some of mine. Chef's kiss. It writes itself.
As well as the United Football League, which The Rock co-owned, so I think that was just kind of a joint effort to probably squeeze more money out of him. He was paid $11 million and tasked with posting, and guys, let me tell you, this is hard. $11 million for 5 Instagram stories talking about Army enlistment. Okay, $11 million, 5 Instagram stories. Not even posts. They're going to be gone in a day. Stories. The deal also included showing recruitment ads during the football games and advertising on the players' uniforms, and each Instagram post was valued at $1 million. And they were surprised to find out that he only posted 2 of them.
Wow.
He got paid for 5. He's like, I think I'll do 2. That's about.
Wow. I feel like there was a meeting behind the scenes about that.
He's like, I got tequila and steroids to promote. That's about it. The entire campaign turned out to be a massive failure, especially considering the United Football League's low attendance numbers. They literally recruited 0 new people. Nobody signed up for that. And in fact, according to an evaluation projection released by the Army, they actually lost 38 enlistments considering the wasted resources that could have been spent elsewhere. And the Army tried to reclaim $6 million from the failed campaign, and it is unclear how the contract is being rebalanced with the UFL. In one of the most expensive partnerships in Army history, $88 million was spent on NASCAR sponsorships alongside a driver named Dale Earnhardt Jr. Have you heard of him? He's the son of the Intimidator. Come on! They spent $88 million between 2011 and 2013. 2 years. $88 million. They wanted to continue to fill the recruitment quota of 50,000 soldiers a year, but NASCAR fans are typically older, and hurted.
Woo! Ooh, ooh, that was savage. Oh my God. The meme coming to mind is Cartman from South Park. We're gonna go left, we're gonna turn left again, and we're gonna turn a little left. Fuck off.
And this resulted in incredibly disappointing results, with the Army once again admitting that it signed up virtually 0 recruits. It was so bad that the Army, Navy, Marines, and Coast Guard had to cancel all their NASCAR sponsorships for having an insane cost per engagement.
Yeah.
So far, you know, we've been talking a lot about modern examples of Army recruitment techniques. But how about we go back to the past a bit and discuss one of the biggest blunders in recruiting history? I'm referring to Project 100,000, the low IQ Army.
What is happening?
Between 1966 and 1971, the U.S. was struggling to meet recruitment standards throughout the Vietnam War. So Project 100,000 was an attempt to increase recruitment numbers by 100,000 people a year by severely lowering recruitment standards. And
oh no. You know, don't we have mandatory fun day? He makes updates regularly about the military lowering standards. I don't think I've heard him talk about this. Forrest. Okay, so Forrest Gump is a commentary on this. Oh, that makes sense.
In normal circumstances, these people were not physically or psychologically qualified to be trusted around firearms and wartime environment, and many of them couldn't read or write and had IQs below 71. Once again, I hate to keep saying it, but that legally... To the point where able-bodied soldiers were tasked with forging test results for them because they literally couldn't take it on their own. It seemed to be a matter of sending as many bodies into combat as fast as possible, to the point of rushing them through training before they were even moderately equipped to fight. They basically...
So this is so the counterpoint when I say, yo, so when's the draft happening? Let's be real, when's it happening, right? The counterpoint being like, well, Kip, you're 30, you're outside the age bracket. Which my counterpoint is, do you realize how many 18 to like 25-year-olds, like the prime demographic, are going to not be able to do it or will just flat out refuse? Therefore, the bar gets expanded to people like me up into the age of 35. And well, but you'll be disqualified. You know, you have to wear glasses. You know, that's something that can be you have a couple other things, right? That make it so that it would be very very hard and very complicated. Oh, don't you worry about that. If they need the bodies, they'll grab the bodies. They will grab my ass so hard. Wait a minute. Let me reword that. They will recruit my ass so fast at a draft. It's not even funny. Draft age went up. There we go. See? We already have precedent for this.
Just like, here's a uniform, have fun in the jungle. It's Forrest Gump, and they all went on to play ping pong in Russia. On the battlefield, these soldiers were a nightmare to work with. They gave up their positions by talking too loud. They couldn't tie their goddamn shoes. They wasted ammos and failed to understand basic commands. At one point, a popular infantry officer was shot and killed by accident. The soldier was meant to grant him access to the base after reciting the password, but somehow got confused in the process and decided to shoot him instead. And in fact, deadly friendly fire occurred on more than one occasion, obviously. Of the 354,000,
literally, when you get into the game with your homies, hey, is friendly fire on? Literally half a second later.
Deployed during the 5-year period, 5,478 died and 20,270 were wounded.
Wow.
That's pretty low, honestly. I would have expected way more. When times get tough and recruitment numbers aren't looking up, military recruiters can get quite desperate. The response? Bullying you into enlisting. Around 2022, it was discovered that there was a massive increase in military recruiters engaging in misconduct against people they wanted to recruit. So much so that the military recruiter abuse hotline had to be reopened after laying dormant for a long time. Recruiters would get access to people's phone numbers in order to give them information about potential enlistment. Usually, this text chain ends as soon as they reject or the text is ignored, but for many recruiters, the rejection angered them to the
sweetheart. Sweetheart, Mr. Recruiter, who would absolutely send me this message. Honey, you aren't ready for this. Just take the L. Don't even text me to begin with. You ain't ready for this. I am saving you the time, okay? Like, oh God, if I got a text that was like, "Hi, I'm from the army, and I'm here to recruit you." Legal name here, right? Oh, you're gonna learn today, boy. And that's how you end up on several watch lists.
Point where they would aggressively contact them various times to push for an answer they wanted. In one case, a woman received 70 texts in a row. I definitely think they're just like, "Are you gay? You must be gay if you don't want to join." The person's like, "No, I'm not." "You're totally not cool. You're gay." Hey,
bro, imagine the recruiter being like, "Dude, that sounds pretty gay that you don't want to join the military." Literally my response. I mean, look, all I'm saying, there's a military. You should go check some of those drains on those submarines. Okay, there's a lot of jelly you should probably go put on your sandwich. I feel add a little bit of flavor to that. Might have to pick out a few hairs. The recruiter recoils in horror, trying not to vomit.
Hard answer. "Oh, come on, leave me alone." "You're gonna join." "What are you gonna? Okay, fine. All right, cool, man." One man admits that he was called old and fat by an army recruiter. There's got to be so much worse.
Relatable though, dude. I am old and fat.
There's got to be all kinds of that is the tip of the iceberg. There's got to be racial slurs, all kinds of shit happening, dude. When all else fails, they would get into full text arguments with people, sometimes posting civilians' address and threatening to show up and hurt them.
Oh, please. You do not want to pick that game. You do not want to pick that game. No, to clarify, that is not a threat of violence. That is not a threat of any sort of, I'll have some 12 gauge aspirin. No, none of that. There's none of that here for full legal disclosure. No. They're not ready for that conversation. His ass is mine. That man from that conversation will take up alcoholism. That man will be forced to drink. Look, I didn't pick the fight. The dude showed up at my door.
Awesome. Listen, here's the thing, guys. Going into combat is a life-altering decision. It can lead to some of the worst moments in a young person's life, and the idea that the powers that be try to sneakily convince you to join them in video games and influencers is incredibly weird and bizarre. If you have any interest in doing something like that, maybe do your own research. Talk to someone who actually knows you or cares about your well-being, rather than leaving that job to a hot chick doing an Ahigo face on top of a tank. Okay? And also,
did he just say Ahigo? Okay, just making sure.
So to join the, I mean, it's with anything in life, case by case, dude.
Yeah.
Just do your research and make sure that it's a decision that you want to make. But until next time, guys, if there is any Army vets watching this, I'm so sorry. We'll see you next time, guys. Hoorah.
Hoorah.
Oh, what a banger video. I absolutely loved this. This was amazing. At the end of the day, come to your own conclusion. Come to your own educated conclusions. If you have questions, say, I don't know, well, maybe the Army's not a good fit for me, but I'm wondering about, the Navy. I've heard submariners, or it's pretty insular, I feel like you could get to have a really good job as a submariner. I'm sure there's plenty of people who would want to talk to you about their experience. What they legally can, of course, right? NDA, OPSEC, permitting, right? Just ask. As it turns out, we're in an era where if you want an unfiltered view of things, I think live leaks isn't a thing anymore, from what I understand. I think that got taken down. I'm sure people still have access to funny footage, but I'm not going to promote that. But you can reach out to people who served, veterans, etc., right? And you can reach out to someone like Grandpa Gamer for their experience back when they served versus someone who maybe served 10 years ago to someone who is currently serving, right? And you can get all of these opinions to formulate something, right? Absolutely. Just reach out, talk about the things. And that's not to dissuade you or discourage you. If you think the military is going to be good for you, go for it. But make sure that you're making an educated decision about the subject, right? Make sure that you are understanding what all it entails, and understanding what all entails is going to be the positive, the negative, and the neutral. But come to your own conclusions. I absolutely love this. Thank you, Papa8, for an amazing video. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Really do appreciate it. Let me know what your thoughts were. Let me know if I made you gag a little bit during this video. I'll see you in the next one.